evil Superman. His actual plan was for Superman's wife to get murdered by a supervillain, which would inspire Superman to join forces with her murderer because he blames her death on the guy that was trying to save her. The fuck kind of logic is that? And you're telling me that Superman is such a psychotic monster that the only thing stopping him from murdering everyone on the planet is this one lady that he gets to plow? That the only thing stopping him from murdering everyone on the planet is this one lady that he gets to plow? Take away Lois and he's totally fine with absolute genocide? You don't see how that kind of ruins the character, knowing that he has such contempt for everyone around him that he's one tiny step away from butchering everyone he's ever known? If it was going to be done with mind control like the finale of Superman the Animated Series, I wouldn't care, but this is just wrong! I think Grant Morrison put it best when they said people lose loved ones every day without becoming mass murderers, and if we can handle it, then fucking Superman should be able to handle it. Every single time someone questions the evil Superman plan, fans whip out the same excuse. Snyder must be adapting injustice! And if that's true, then like so many other things in these movies, he's missing the damn point! Injustice is a 2013 fighting game where the Justice League fights an alternate universe Superman that conquered his world after losing his wife and unborn child. But that's not the only time evil Superman's been done outside of the comics. There's also Superman Red Son, a what-if story about Superman being raised in the Soviet Union, and the Season 2 Justice League episode A Better World, where an alternate universe Superman leads his league to take over the world after their Flash dies. And all three of these stories have one crucial thing in common. Superman takes over the world because he thinks that it's the best way that he can help people. He loses somebody that he loves and he blames himself because he could have stopped it if only he'd gone a little further. So he cracks down hard on crime, on war, forces social justice, takes away free will and makes everyone act exactly the way he thinks they should because it keeps people safe, because it makes sure that Superman will never fail to save another life no matter what else it costs along the way. They're cautionary tales of the man who can do anything going too far, overstepping his bounds because he's not a god, nor should he be. And even then, no matter how far gone Superman is, in Red Son and A Better World, he doesn't kill people! He lobotomizes or mind controls his enemies because he thinks it's helping, and life is still precious to him. And even when he attacks civilians in Injustice, he only does it after extensive manipulation by 3 supervillains, and he thinks sacrificing a few will save billions more. And when he does go full kill crazy in Injustice 2, that game was near universally panned for shitty one-dimensional writing. Superman does not turn evil because, my wife died, now I'm going to kill everyone on the planet as revenge. Then be fucking juvenile. When Superman turns evil, it's because, I failed the people I love, and I will go as far as it takes to make sure I never fail anyone else. So to take an evil Superman concept and just plunk it down anywhere divorced from any actual context, that's not understanding these characters. That's, I will throw in this random meaningless visual reference to a thing you recognize, which is all Snyder does in these movies. Zack Snyder does not get DC's characters. And he never did. Now with so much fan demand and the massive, passionate fan base behind it, surely the Snyder Cut was a smash hit financially, right? No! According to Samba TV, one of the only sources that tracks HBO Max numbers, the Snyder Cut did okay with about 1.8 million streams opening weekend and 2.2 million its opening week, but only about a third of those viewings actually bothered to finish it, and even counting the partial viewings, its numbers were still lower than Wonder Woman 1984, The Suicide Squad, Godzilla vs. Kong, and Mortal Kombat, and it's currently being utterly shit-stomped by Robert Pattinson's Batman. The Snyder Cut lost to Space Jam 2, for Christ's sake. Doesn't stop Snyder cultists from trying to claim that it's the single most watched movie of all time because it got 500 million streams in China. This according to doctored screenshots of the streaming site Migu, which I checked out for myself, and turns out they don't post any streaming numbers. Yeah, best to tailor your lies so that they can't be debunked in literally 2 seconds. But it was a total smash hit on home video! Really? Because it's piss cheap on eBay, and websites that track home video sales have it doing less than half the business of Marvel movies, even post-Disney+. But the Snyder Cut won a Twitter poll and got mentioned as fan favorite at the Oscars. Second place in that Oscar poll was Joke Votes for Cinderella because nobody else cared. You know what else won fan polls for movie of its year? Twilight! And don't even bring up stats on Twitter engagement that no shit are gonna be high when you've got a group of manic fans religiously spamming the same hashtag all day and night for years on end. Over in the real world, Warner and associated companies have steadfastly refused to let David Ayer do a similar recut of Suicide Squad, despite his constant public begging to do so, and shortly after the Snyder Cut released, AT&T sold Warner Brothers to the Discovery Channel, the heads of which said the only DC movies they're impressed with are Aquaman, Joker, and The Batman. The release of the Snyder Cut also led to the cancellation of a movie about the New Gods because Warner Brothers didn't want to use Darkseid again too soon, even though he was barely in this movie. So not only are there signs aplenty that the Snyder Cut was little more than a cult movie that did regular mediocre cult movie business, but it also killed a completely unrelated movie. Snyder fans have yet to shut the fuck up and are still demanding that Snyder be put back in charge of all of DC's movies, only ramping up the harassment, doxing, and the issuing of death threats to anyone even tangentially related to Warner Brothers management that they could find, all while trying to spam, review bomb, and boycott everything the studio does that isn't Snyder